Here's a tech tip. Do the next guy that owns your car a favor. Label your relays. So this is going to be both fans. So give them a hint here. Fan and then both headlights are on two different relays. I may switch to dual relays, but I'm going to see how it works out with the one. This one's 80 amps, so it should be fine. And the shroud just shipped, or just arrived. This is the one I went with. This is the high output 4000 A12 dual power pack, and so that's the one there. And let's see, the stock number is this one, and it's in Summit. So hopefully that works out. Hopefully it also fits. And of course I have a new water pump, which I have professed my love for the design. It's got one little light coat on it already. This is a Mopar unit. It's a high out volume, high output, or I'm sorry, high volume, high pressure. So should get another coat, maybe a third. And here's the radiator. It's the Cat, and got a brand new core here. So that should cool really well. Let's just hope that shroud fits on this thing, because I've had bad luck with this in the past. So we'll see. Oh yeah, just make yourself comfortable. He's mad at me. I gave him a bath yesterday. I think he's had 4 baths in his 20 some odd year life. So he was pissed. So he's just gonna F your radiator. So here's the difference between a binary switch and a trinary switch. So this is the binary switch. So you have 2 connections there. And then ironically the trinary switch has 4 connections. But the blue ones are the high and low. And I believe the black and green ones are the AC kick. So yeah, fun fact. Always lube your O-rings with mineral oil before you put them together. Always, always. Otherwise you'll have a system that leaks, and that's gonna suck. This trinary switch goes on the air dryer, or the filter dryer, for you AC guys out there who are probably not watching this video. So now, since the binary switch had these connectors on it, I had wires landed on that, and if you're going to put this on the shelf, you want to put a cap on that just to make sure nothing gets in there. But you can see how I had the 2 wires there going to the binary. So I just have to change those connections to, I'll just do a barrel connector there, one of those solder ones, and I'll run my AC kick to these 2 guys here. Right. What's up, guys? I'm back, just watching SMX playoffs, and we're having a weather break because of thunder and lightning. So anyway, I'm back on the car, and pleasantly surprised with this Durali. I don't know if it's Dural or Durali, but this fan, electric fan and shroud setup is pretty nice. I'm real happy with it. Turning my camera to gimbal. Come on, man. Work. Camera's not wanting to wake up. Anyway, here's the setup here. I'm just adding this little weather, or this little seal here, so you don't have metal to metal contact, but it actually fits perfectly in between these brackets here. It's actually this is the front. Sorry, what am I thinking? But anyway, on the back side, that fan shroud fits perfectly in between here and underneath the top seam here too. So it's actually a really nice fit. This is Whalebot, I believe. Just gonna look at this setup here. Get this situated so you guys can see what I'm doing. Basically just found the center point of this seam, or I'm sorry, of this rubber U-channel. Make sure it's seated, all the corners. Okay. Now, put this aside. Rad with the third core. I was trying to get the fans to where they would. I wish this fan was actually positioned here. Basically, if they just did this opposite, so put this fan here and that fan up there, because you have your supply and your return here. In my mind, cool off the return water before it even gets to the engine, but maybe it's not a big deal. But that's just my engineering mind at work. So now we got to figure out where these brackets go. And it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of options on this side. Just looks like maybe utilize at least one of these. Maybe up here. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a little crafty there. I do want to do a minimum of 2 brackets per side, even though there's a lot less of a flange here. I think we can squeeze 2 in here, at the very least, like that. Actually, that's how they go. Yeah, so if we have to drill holes, so we could do that. And use the factory holes, and then we can actually make our own here. And then over here, obviously can't drill into the tank. So look at this and this. So that's probably how it's going to end up, which is fine. Honestly, you just need a 4-corner. Just need to have it nailed down in 4 corners. So, yeah, looks pretty good, I think. Just got to mark this hole, and it seems like it'll be good. And you can see how it covers the entire core here. Let's see through these freeway flaps. These guys are actually for going fast on the freeway, or just going fast period, and the fans turn off by temperature, and this allows more airflow, obviously free airflow, if you will, without having to use any alternator. But yeah, it fits really well. I'm actually very happy with this. There's usually a gap. You can usually see some core showing, but in this case, this is shaping up to be pretty darn efficient, if I do say. And I think this will be really good as far as cooling goes. Plus, I have a brand new core, so what could possibly go wrong, right? Alright, let's get these brackets set up. The cats do. So, as you can see, I have marked the factory flange here on the back side where the OEM shroud would have gone. Excuse me. And just mark the slotted holes, basically the holes in the brackets, and transpose them onto the flange here. So I'm not going to get 8 holes per side. because the flange doesn't go all the way down and all the way up. So I'm just gonna work with it. It'll be fine. These brackets are really strong, and you can see I've transposed them onto here, and we utilize that guy there. The thing about this is you want to make sure you're not putting a hole where you can't get behind it with the fans here. So this guy would be obviously okay. The top one's going to be fine. Back here, we're plenty of room. It's when you get closer to the fans on the inside here is when you have to make sure and just keep an eye out. So we're going to go from there back to there. So we'll be fine. I like to put the heads of the bolts. Well, I'll try to put the threads inside just for a cleaner look. But sometimes you got to reverse the bolt. It's not a big deal. And as you can see, I've got my little weather seal on there. That makes it not grind into the radiator over time, so that's cool. I do want to remove this stud because it's already been broken off once, and the radiator shop I used did not clean up my brackets or my tanks. So after I drill these holes, I'm going to go over it and just hit it up with a little plastic finger wheel on a 90-degree die grinder and just clean it up so it looks better, and then I'll just paint the tanks and the brackets only. Turns out radiator cores actually have to have radiator core paint. It's not regular paint, it's actual special paint. I'm not sure what it has in it, but if you coat this too much with just regular spray paint, it'll actually inhibit your ability to exchange heat. So trust me, don't do it. Just get some either radiator paint or leave it natural. Because if you're running a big block and it's as spicy as mine, which in my world it's spicy, I'm sure to some of you out there it's not that spicy, but whatever. 650 horsepower is 650 horsepower, and in traffic they create heat. So, and I live in California for the time being. I hope to move away at some point, but anyway, enough jabbing. Let's get these holes drilled. Let's get this thing going. I always like to put my holes right in the center of a slotted hole. What I do is I outline the hole itself, and then you can go back and choose the center of that outlined hole. So you know exactly where the entire slot is. That's kind of the thought behind it. But put it in the right in the middle. That'll give you the best chance at not having to mess with the hole after you drilled it. Had a guy, or one of our viewers, reach out to me the other day and told me how impressed he was with the fact that we don't hide our mistakes on this channel. And I told him, I said, you know, it's just what we do. I mean, I only do YouTube because I'm already doing the work. And so I said, well, why not just film it? I've been doing this for a long time, but about 2 years ago I got a GoPro, or 2 GoPros for Christmas, and from my son and my wife, and you know, they suggested it. I'm like, well, I guess. And man, the first few videos are pretty awkward, I'll admit. But yeah, I just figured if I'm doing the work already, that's the easy part, or that's the hard part. And just taking the time out to film isn't that big of a deal, really, once you get used to it. So think about that. I mean, if you guys don't have a channel, if you're already doing the work, that's the hardest part. So why not contribute to society? That's the way I look at it. We're contributing. We're helping people get through these projects. That's the way I look at it. is a 1/2 inch by 8 band file. I believe they make a smaller one, a 3/8. But man, I love this tool. You guys able to see me what I'm doing here? Probably not. Alright, that should be better. But yeah, that I'm actually in the shot. There. Alright, it's pretty simple, but I'm going to tape up my inlet and outlet. Just make sure I don't get any more debris in the radiator than has to be in there. One of these little plastic finger wheel things on a 90-degree die grinder. These usually work pretty good. I'm not going after any metal. I'm really just taking off the debris, like the rust and corrosion that's underneath the paint that they just painted over. So, because you don't want to disrupt the braze. So they braze these metal brackets onto these brass radiators with silver. And so if you get into the silver, basically past the bracket, that'll actually weaken the bond between the two metals. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do the top and the sides where it can be seen. Just clean it up a little bit and then spray it. It's real simple. For those of you who have never seen a brass radiator, well, here it is. They used to make them in brass. Why? Well, it's a non-ferrous metal and it won't rust. It'll corrode, but it won't rust. And with a ferrous metal, like the steel brackets on the side, they have to use silver solder to actually attach it to the brass, which is non-ferrous. Ferrous typically means magnetic, non-ferrous means non-magnetic. So alloy, basically. So, but anyway, enough of that. I taped off the heat exchanger part of the radiator. This is actually where all the magic happens. The reason you don't want to spray over this stuff is because it's already got a radiator type paint on it, which which continues to allow the heat exchange properties of this core. if you have multiple layers of different types of paint on it, it's reduced greatly in size, so keep that in mind. So I've actually taped off both sides of this. Yeah, so I just got to wipe it down, and we're going to get some paint on this thing and hopefully get done with this chapter. Alright, here's the finished product here. You know the difference between a show car and a driver? That bottom tank has been through hell and back. I guess it's not as bad as it looked yesterday, but yeah, it's painted. With the side brackets all done, and the top came out pretty good. A little bit of rejection there. I'm not sure what's going on, but it'll be fine. You won't be able to see it. So, just gotta remove my tape here, and we're gonna get this fan shroud installed. Water ports. Alright, so we'll leave the top. So one thing I have to figure out, put this aside for a minute. So what I'm saying is, one thing I need to figure out is how I'm going to run the fan wires, or the power and ground wires. I believe I'm going to have to take a pigtail, or trying to figure out how I'm going to run these. If I just put a grommet through the side and run my own wires, or what. But I am going to mount I think I'm going to mount my relay for the fans on the shroud itself. If that makes sense. But the wires come through the backside for some reason. I'm not sure why. guess it's a cleaner look, but you still got to go through the shroud. And even if you do go through the shroud with like a grommet, the grommets can rot and basically ground out the power wires to your fans, and then you're on the side of the road again, which is not ideal. So I'm going to pull these out of here and route them slightly differently. But I want to make all my connections on this side of the fans. Otherwise, if you have a connection on the inside, you have to pull the whole shroud off to fix it or whatever. So that's just a personal preference of mine. Yeah, these are really nice pieces for the money. I've had them before, and from Dural, and they ended up being really good. So for the money, I think you can't go wrong. I think this whole setup is just like about a little over $550, but it's rated at 4,000 CFM, which I don't know if you know, but fan companies tend to overrate their fans, which is kind of annoying because it's us that have to drive around with these fans and be on the side of the road with these fans if they don't work. So just be wary of CFM numbers. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to join these guys because I'm going to use one relay to power these guys, because I've got an 80 amp relay, and these fans are 24 amps each. It doesn't have a, yeah, 25 amps maximum. Each, so 25 amps each, so 80 amp relay should be perfect. So let me get some connectors, and I will make a make an extension here just to get us off of the center of the fans, and I'll make them and I'll do it in such a way that it'll be nice and tidy and you won't know any different. I'll come off on the, so this is the top, come off on the passenger side. So yeah, I'm going to go, this will be the side I'm going to come off, so I'm going to basically come down this and then go this way. So hopefully that makes sense. Alright, let me grab some wiring and I'll be right back.